Chinese submarines are moving beneath the South China Sea right now. They believe they are invisible, but they are being watched. The Philippines built a surveillance network that can hear what was meant to stay silent. This isn't just about new technology. This changes everything about underwater warfare. For the first time, smaller nations can see what was always hidden. The question is, what happens when the invisible becomes visible? Manila is placing acoustic sensors across strategic underwater locations. These aren't ordinary listening devices. They can identify submarine signatures from incredible distances. The network specifically monitors areas where foreign submarines operate regularly. Chinese submarines, including their most advanced stealth models. The Philippine system now tracks their movements in real time. Here's what makes this significant. Previously, the Philippines had zero underwater awareness. Submarines entered Filipino waters undetected. They operated freely. They left without anyone knowing. That era is ending. 40% of global trade flows through these waters. Every single day, cargo ships worth billions pass through. The energy resources beneath are worth trillions, but there's something more immediate at stake. Filipino fishing families work these waters. Their boats operate where submarines now patrol regularly. When submarines move freely through disputed areas, real consequences follow. Fishing becomes dangerous, energy projects halt, commercial shipping faces constant uncertainty. Vietnam deals with identical problems along its coastline, and this is where things get complicated. Submarines represent the ultimate invisible weapon. Surface ships can be seen by satellites, aircraft appear on radar, but submarines disappear beneath the waves. Detecting them is extremely difficult. Most countries simply cannot do it. Modern stealth submarines use revolutionary hull designs. Their engines run almost silently. Wait, let me put this differently. Think of it this way. Imagine detecting someone walking through a dark forest. You can only use sound, but they're trained to move silently. Each submarine does create a unique acoustic signature. These sound patterns can reveal location and speed, sometimes even the submarine type. But advanced submarines minimize these signatures dramatically. This creates an underwater game of hide and seek. Now here's where it gets interesting. China operates one of the world's fastest-growing submarine fleets. Their submarines patrol South China Sea waters constantly. These aren't random patrols. Each mission serves strategic purposes. They demonstrate Chinese presence in disputed areas. They collect intelligence on regional naval activities. They test how neighboring countries respond. But numbers aren't the real concern here. China's submarine fleet includes nuclear-powered attack submarines, advanced diesel-electric models. Some can remain submerged for weeks without surfacing. This extended underwater capability allows continuous monitoring. They watch shipping lanes undetected. They observe military movements. They gather intelligence constantly. Beijing considers submarine presence essential for controlling strategic waterways. However, the underwater landscape is shifting. Acoustic sensors work by detecting sound waves traveling through water. Every submarine produces unique sound signatures while moving. Engine noise creates patterns, propellers generate vibrations, hull movement disturbs water. Sensors placed on the ocean floor capture these sounds from miles away. Actually, let me clarify something important here. The system analyzes specific sound frequencies. This identifies submarine types and pinpoints exact locations. Here's the key advantage. Water conducts sound much better than air. This makes long-distance detection possible. Multiple sensors create a network. Advanced software filters out background ocean noise. What remains are clear submarine signatures. The technology works even against submarines designed for stealth operations, but this creates new strategic challenges. This surveillance network changes Philippine maritime security completely. Before this system, Manila had limited underwater knowledge. Foreign submarines could enter territorial waters undetected. They could operate for days or weeks. They could leave without trace. Now the Philippines monitors these movements continuously. The system provides early warning near critical infrastructure. It protects fishing areas where families depend on daily catches. Energy exploration zones gain security coverage. Philippine military commanders receive real-time underwater information. This improves their decisions for maritime patrols. For Filipino fishermen, this means safer working conditions. For the military, it provides better territorial awareness. The capability reduces uncertainty about what happens in Philippine waters. However, this is only part of a larger development. The United States provides technical assistance for sensor deployment. Japan contributes underwater detection expertise. Australia coordinates regional surveillance efforts. India supports broader monitoring initiatives. These partnerships create a regional surveillance network. Intelligence sharing allows multiple countries to track submarines together. American technology forms the system backbone. Japanese expertise optimizes sensor placement. This cooperation connects different countries into one system. Together, they can see more. Allied support makes advanced surveillance accessible to smaller nations like the Philippines, and this changes the strategic balance. Vietnam is developing similar underwater monitoring along its coastline. Other Southeast Asian nations are evaluating surveillance options for their waters. The regional balance shifts as more countries gain detection abilities. Increased monitoring reduces submarine advantages. Maritime boundaries become clearly defined through continuous surveillance. Commercial shipping benefits from improved security along trade routes. Fishing communities gain protection in their traditional areas. Regional security improves through shared submarine intelligence. This creates transparency in previously hidden activities. But China will not remain passive to these developments. Beijing may invest in quieter submarine technologies. Chinese submarine operations might shift to different patrol patterns. They could avoid areas with known sensors. Diplomatic pressure may target countries deploying these surveillance systems. China could develop anti-detection technologies for their fleet. Alternative routes through deeper international waters become options. Beijing might deploy their own acoustic sensor networks. This would enable monitoring of regional naval activities. The Chinese response will combine technology improvements with operational changes. Chinese submarine operations will evolve to maintain effectiveness despite increased surveillance. This raises a crucial question about the future. Acoustic surveillance networks represent a fundamental change in maritime security. The era of invisible underwater power projection is ending. The ability to monitor submarine activities levels the playing field between major powers and smaller nations. Advanced detection technology makes invisible threats visible again. For Filipino fishermen, this provides security in waters they've worked for generations. For regional maritime trade, it offers protection along crucial shipping corridors. For smaller nations, it delivers capabilities once exclusive to superpowers. Regional stability benefits when all nations understand what moves through their territorial waters. But here's what this really means. We're witnessing the end of the submarine's greatest advantage: invisibility. Remember that question from the beginning? What happens when the invisible becomes visible? The answer isn't just about submarines or technology. It's about whether complete transparency beneath the ocean surface creates peace through understanding, or triggers an arms race into depths we never imagined exploring. The next decade will show us which path the underwater world chooses.